I have finally seen James Gunn's Superman movie at the red carpet premiere, and here's my non-spoiler review. Special thanks to TCL and the Chinese Theater for hosting my brother and I in their VIP lounge to experience this film on IMAX. I am extremely happy to report that James Gunn's Superman will make you believe a Superman can fly. This is one of the best and most inspiring comic book movies of the modern era that reminds us to look up, to hope, be kind, to channel our innate goodness, to do good things for others, and to find the strength in our shared humanity. Something that doesn't happen too often with movies or comic book movies in general is the ability for the film to allow me to reconnect with my younger self. It was very emotional in some moments. The action pieces were extremely engaging. The camera work was dynamic. The characterization of these characters was literally perfect. This is the kind of movie the world needs right now. And I think it has the power to change someone and to come out of this experience a little better. The casting and chemistry is super powerful. And I love how James Gunn infuses a lot of emotional depth to these characters. And David Corenswet, Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult really bring these characters to life. As a dog lover, Crypto, the super dog, will be a fan favorite. This, I assure you, will be a super hit, not just among comic book fans, but the general audience. Is the movie perfect? No. I do think there are some things that could have been better. I do think there are things that they retread over that don't feel as impactful as previous iterations, but Superman is not perfect himself. And I love how James Gunn really gave us not a godlike character, but a good man who happens to have superpowers and wants to save others, save lives, save animals. Somebody that really has the human experience. This Clark Kent Superman loves, he cries, he gets scared, he makes mistakes, he's not perfect, and that's what makes him human. And when he realizes that's his greatest strength, that's what allows him to be the light in the darkness. And when we were in that theater, sitting in darkness, his light cut through everybody in that room. And outside of that theater, people were raving about Superman. Kids, adults, super fans, casual fans, they were talking about him as if they wanted this man to be real. And he can be, because he's within all of us. James Gunn takes old-fashioned kindness and turns it into something that could be considered punk rock, something energetic, something raw, something that could be considered politically charged, even though kindness, empathy, and just righteousness should never be considered that. But as a whole, a society that strays away from that, the steps we should take to get back to that is morality itself. I also love the emphasis of chosen family and how sometimes following what your parents want for you and following their traditions may not be the best thing for you. You got to find your own way. Or dare yourself to do better and right their wrongs. Take good advice from others and apply them in your life through actions. It's like what Pa Kent says, your choices, your actions, that's what makes you who you are. As for my criticisms of this film, it really, editing-wise, felt like it was restructured maybe several times because some of the cuts from different scenes to different emotional beats felt jarring. Another one was the lack of a memorable score, a memorable, unique score. Don't get me wrong. Every single time they used John Williams, but I kind of wanted James Gunn to refrain from using his usual needle drops and relying on those and trying to uplift his own original score, but that to me never happened. The original score for this movie never reached the heights of like, you know, a Superman Returns or Hans Zimmer Man of Steel. It felt lackluster in that regard. I thought it was awesome to see misinformation and rage baiting online versus Superman in the modern age. But as for the rest of the plot, anytime James Gunn would set something up, a conflict, I felt like it was him playing it safe. It felt very predictable, and the stakes never really felt truly dangerous. But to me, the characterization of these characters was so spot on that those flaws that I have with the film are really diminished, because to me it's really about, can you get these characters right? And can you put them in any situation and believe they are those characters? And James Gunn nails that. I love Superman the movie with Christopher Reeve. I love Man of Steel. And now I love this new Superman movie. This one beautifully carries on the legacy of one of my favorite characters of all time. And the way that it made me think about Christopher Reeve's Superman. I mean, that's really all I can ask for when it comes to an experience like this. Make me believe a man can fly again. Make me believe in a better world, a better tomorrow. For that alone, I have to give James Gunn's Superman a 9 out of 10, an A. And I hope that both liberals and conservatives will look at Superman ruin a bad billionaire's plan and consider it the American way, the Superman way. After this, just like the characters in the movie, you'll be chanting Superman's name.